Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with another video. I said that I was going to daily upload. I know that I meant to say, like, more consistently upload and possibly everyday uploads. I actually did kind of plan on it. Like, I didn't know if it was going to happen, so I shouldn't necessarily said it, but anyways, we're back with another video. And also another thing, I forgot to add the clip at the end of when I was Big Turbo of the last video, so you guys will catch that in this one. I don't know how I forgot it, but I did. But today we're going to be talking about Stage 1. What the first mods you need to do to your car. We call it Stage 1, realistically, Stage 1 is just a term for such and such mods. Some people may say that these mods are counted as Stage 2. But according to, in this platform, there's a lot of companies that say this is Stage 1. So, like, it's, when you say Stage 1, people know what you're talking about. But, anyways, Stage 1 mods, and one of these is actually part of the Stage 2 map on Cobb. But it has been proven that this is the first thing you do. Like, you need to do this immediately. This shouldn't wait until Stage 2. Now, can you be fine without this on Stage 1? Yes. When I first got my car, it was like the actual Stage 1. Like, it wasn't the extra thing that I'm about to talk about. And it ran fine on that for about a year. Like, I mean, obviously Cobb maps, I know a lot of you, if you have an access port and you're on a Cobb map, honestly, just get an e-tune. Like, seriously, I held off for so long, and as soon as I got one, the car ran 10,000 times better immediately. Like, on my base map, it ran better than the Cobb map did. So yeah, it's 100% worth it. And for you guys, that I know a guy that is like, I've been telling him for the longest to get an e-tune, because not everybody can buy all the proper mods at once. Like, for example, if you do these mods that are in what I'm saying right here, what I'm about to talk about, then you are going to need an e-tune. Like, don't run a Cobb map. There's not a Cobb map that is tuned for these exact mods. So get an e-tune. Now, if you want to wait on one of these, I mean, that's your option, but you can go zoom zoom boom. It does happen. So anyways, guess we'll get straight into it, instead of just talking about it. So number 2 first things you should probably get are going to be a Cobb access port. And for you guys out there, trust me, it's not cheap, okay? So if you're out there and you think you're just gonna go and slap an intake on your speed, it's not happening. I'm sorry. Don't do it. You can do it, but you're just setting yourself up for failure. No tune with an intake equals zoom zoom boom, very very easily. So so just listen. Don't cheap out, okay? If you can't afford it, I understand, but if you can't afford it, then honestly you probably shouldn't be looking into modding it. I know that's heartbreaking. I mean, because I had been able to afford to add things, but I know that not everybody can. So I'm sorry, but it's gonna cost you more money if you cheap out. So anyways, you're going to want to get, the first thing you want to get is high pressure fuel pump internals. Now, Corksport makes these and Cobb makes these. Okay, I will send links to both of their websites, and I will say this. There's Autotech high pressure fuel pump internals, and that is what Cobb sells. Corksport has their own ones. Now, Corksport comes in a fancy box and has a spring that comes with it. If you've not seen high pressure fuel pump internals, they have a spring that goes on them, and the Autotechs do not come with an aftermarket spring. So that's one reason to get Corksport. I don't have experiences with Cork Sports high pressure fuel pump internals, so you guys can. People say it's 50-50, whatever you want. So there's that. You do what you want. I think personally, I would go with Cork Sport now, just simply because of that reason. But anyways, so cob access port. This is gonna be expensive. Okay. First of all, the high pressure fuel pump internals are $350 regardless if you get Cork Sport or cob. So the access port is the next thing that's gonna be. You're like, sheesh, this is expensive. Okay. So the access port, probably don't want to run high pressure fuel pump internals without the access port. So, but anyways, the access port is $650. Like I said, you can buy that at Cobb, and it is not something you go without. If you plan on buying your car, it's honestly the first thing you should probably buy. And in all seriousness, okay, now I'm gonna say how you can get yourself a deal on an e-tune. I don't know if FreakTune has a deal like this, or if Will Dawson at Purple Drink does. I know those are the two most common places to get your car with an e-tune from. So if you do want to go that route, I know a place that it's a little bit more better of a discount. My car was tuned by him while it was big turbo, and it is Dizzy Tuning. His name is Jason. Can't remember his last name, but anyways, it's Dizzy Tuning. I'll put a link in that in the description also. Hopefully I don't forget any of these, but he offers a deal where if you purchase a access port from him, he will give you an e-tune for $60 if you add that to your package. So normally it's like $180, I want to say, from him for the tune, but you can get it for $60 if you buy the access port with that. But here's the deal. On that, you're saving over $100, and then there's a Cork Sport deal where you can get an access port and high pressure fuel pump internals. And normally that would be $1,000, but you can you can save like $36. It's like $36 they give you a deal on for buying both. You could do that deal. I think you're saving more money if you do the e-tune deal, and you're gonna have an e-tune, so that's better off. But one of the mods it's not really a need. You don't need it, but I would recommend is a rear motor mount. Cobb makes these. Damon Motorsports makes these. I would recommend Damon, just because everybody says Damon, like Damon's the best. That's all you ever hear in the Speed 3 platform. So I would definitely recommend that. I have a Cobb rear motor mount. It actually came on my car when I got it, and I am changing it to Damon with the build. If you haven't watched the previous video, go making sure to go check that out. It talks about the build plans of what's coming next for the car and what to look forward to. Okay, so rear motor mount, what it basically does is just eliminates torque steer. It's more stiffer mount, but it does create a little bit more vibration. My car also, like I said, it came with that when I got it, so I don't know what it's like to go without it. But anyways, the Damon motor mount is $135. So now we're going to move on. I think the Cobb one's $150, but I think we're going to move on to the intake side of things. So stage 1, this is basically, to Cobb, this is considered stage 1 plus. What you're going to want is Cobb makes an intake. If you want to run that one, it's only like, it's the same size as stock, if I'm not mistaken, but it just flows better. And you get a little bit more turbo noise out of it. So there's 3 things that you're going to need. Actually, technically 4. 4 things you're going to need to go stage 1. So you're going to need an access port. Well, this is stage 1 plus, actually. You're going to need an access port, intake. I think it's a short ram intake. The Cobb calls it. That's what they call it, short ram. SF intake, I think it is. So with the intake, there is multiple different options with your intake, though, other than Cobb. So I just now wrote down a list. The Cobb intake, the short ram intake, is $195. Okay, and then you have an air box option where you can have your own air box. It keeps your filter from getting as dirty, that kind of thing. And with the air box, it's $250. Now there is other intake options. Graveyard Performance makes some. JBR makes some. I think High Tune Performance is another company that makes them. I'm not sure if they still make them. I want to say they don't anymore, and I'm not sure why. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the comments or something. But because I looked at their 4-inch intakes, gonna get one, and I did not see any intakes on their website. So I don't know what that's about. Could be something to do with the EPA right now and breaking down on, all the car parts and all that bull crap. We need to save our race cars, guys. So, but anyways, I'm going to list some prices here. I have them pulled up on my computer, which is like right here in front of my face. JBR has a 3-inch intake, which is bigger than stock. It's going to fit kind of snug against your battery box, but it's going to basically replace your... There's a thing, when you go to stage 2, there's a thing called a turbo inlet hose, and that is part of the stage 2. And basically, there's 2 parts of your intake. Technically, the full system is just an intake, but it's 2 pieces. So, 2 pieces to make an intake. Anyways, if you get the short ram intake from Cobb, that's basically like your part of the intake. It's not all of it. So, when you go stage 2, whenever I went stage 2, I was like, well, the turbo in the hose isn't going to be a big deal. It's just, it's going to be fine. So I decided I wasn't going to get it for a while. And as soon as I put on my stage 2 map, which me now, I would never run a car on a map that is tuned for another part. But at the time I was just like, it'll be alright. But it didn't have a part that it was tuned for. And I was on a Cobb map tune. But basically what happened is this map was supposed to be making 17 pounds a boost, and I couldn't make over 15. It was weird. And I was like, what the heck is the deal? I'm supposed to be making 17, it's only making 15. So then I was reading into it, and I got the turbo inlet hose, and instantly I was, instead of not even being able to hit my boost goal, I was actually over boosting. So, not necessarily a good thing, but I just now thought about that, and this is part of the high pressure fuel pump thing. The reason a lot of people, don't understand why high pressure fuel pump internals are so important, and one of the main reasons is whenever you turn your boost up, I know that at 17 pounds of boost, this is why they recommend it at the stage 2, because stage 2 is when the map runs 17 pounds of boost. But if you get an E-tune without the high pressure fuel pump internals, then that's what your limit is. You're limited to under 17 psi. Versus if you get high pressure fuel pump internals right off the bat and do a full intake, then like you're gonna be tuned on like probably 20 pounds, somewhere in there. Just because you have high pressure fuel pump internals. They're very, very, very important. But back to the intake talk. The JBR intake replaces both parts of the intake. It replaces the first half and the second half, and it's one full piece. So, makes it honestly a lot easier to deal with. If it was me and I were you guys, I would go ahead and spend the extra money and do it. If you don't, you're going to spend about $100 more if you buy these pieces separate. If you just buy JBR intake right here on my computer at Graveyard Performance, it is $295, and I know that the turbo inlet hose from Cobb is $180, and the intake is $200 almost. So you add that up, that's gonna be probably with tax, it's gonna be $400 versus $300 before tax. So you do the math there, you're saving money. And also with a 3-inch intake like this, if you ever decide to go big turbo in the future, it's gonna probably be fine. Okay, with a cob intake, you can still run it, but they don't recommend it because your MAF sensor basically runs out of room to work. If that's, I think that's how it works exactly. Like I say, always say, correct me if I'm wrong. Probably gonna love of racing. At the drag strip, I was doing some roll racing. This has been a year ago. I filmed it and meant to upload it. Just never did, but this is still stuff that people are gonna be hyped to see because I raced STIs, 370Zs, all kinds of good stuff, and I think you guys will be really hyped on to see how the outcome of those were. But I'm gonna go over the overall cost of how much everything here cost. I'm gonna go the cheapest way, I guess, for you guys. Now, take these things I have said into consideration before you buy. If you think you should get a 3-inch intake over just the Cobb short ram, do it. I think if you got the money, do it. Okay, if you got the money to do an E-tune, do it. Now, if you don't want to get the high pressure fuel pump internals, I will say the price for that too without them. But I think it's a good idea. And you can just get, you don't have to have a rear motor mount. You can literally just get a access port and an intake. That's realistically all you need for stage 1. But once again, don't recommend it. But anyways, the full price for it is a total of $1,330 before tax. Like I said, not gonna be cheap, and you're just gonna have to realize that modding a car is not cheap. Now that is with high pressure fuel pump internals. If you do not get those, it's gonna be a little under $1,000. But you get on there, do the math yourself once you find these parts. But just save your money and do it right. And if you want to add an E-tune, then I can add it in my calculator real quick. If you do dizzy tuning, if you do that way, then it is going to be $1,390. Which honestly, I don't think it's that bad. Like I said, save your money, do it right. Okay, you will be happy in the long run. And trust me, if you know you're going to keep your car a while, and you know that eventually you're going to go big turbo or something like that, buy the mods, buy everything once. What I mean by that is, if you plan on going big turbo, get an intake that is big enough to go with that. Don't have to buy it twice. That's just my advice to you guys. And if you want, you can run a 3-inch intake while being big turbo. I did it. You can do it. And actually, by the way, if you were watching this video and you do need an intake, there's also engine intakes. I don't know if you heard of the company Engine. They make really, really good stuff, like very good intakes. I've heard rumors say that the Cobb map, like the Cobb tune that comes on the Focus STs, on the access port, whenever you get an engine intake, it leans it out because it's like getting way too much air with the engine intake, even with it tuned, that tune anyways. So yeah, I'm just saying that engine intakes are very good. Now if you get a tune, you're not gonna have to worry about that, an E-tune. But that's what I was running when I was running big turbo, and if any of you guys want it, it is currently for sale right now, and I will ship. So DM me on Instagram, whatever. My Instagram link should be in the description. If anything like that, just DM me, and I will give a price, and I will ship. So I'll get it to you as soon as possible. So I was just now about to edit this video, and I just now remembered. I almost forgot. I said that I had the engine intake. I also have the Cobb short ram intake and a Mishimoto turbo inlet hose. It's a full intake, and I will sell that to somebody as well. I have both of those because, long story, It has to do with big turbo. Why I have both. But anyways, yeah, I have both of those. So if you want to get them a little bit cheaper than what you would, they are in good condition as well. Now the air intake filter is a little bent, but other than that, they're in good shape. So if you're wanting to buy those, I have those. Now also have a downpipe, which I guess I'll mention that in the next video, because the next video is gonna be stage 2, and but anyways, yeah, this video. Sorry if it was kind of long and I explained way more than I should have. If you're confused, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to get as much information that you need to know as possible. I'm sure I probably forgot something that I was going to say also, but um, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Making sure to drop a like, subscribe, and don't forget to stay positive. Peace out. I just wanted to add to that was only 14 pounds of boost on that pull. That was my base map. It was only on wastegate spring pressure. The car ended up being tuned on, I think it was 22 pounds it finished out at. So just thought I'd let you guys know that, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and